many more did he rape in that night? How many more people did he ruin their lives that night? Maybe some he even killed them. He wanted to take me to a house somewhere. I'm just thinking, you know, I refused. For me to go to that garbage place, I had refused completely. And I just thought, what if he's been picking and taking to a house somewhere where there are other guys, and this, what was happening to Rahab would have happened to me.
Yeah.
And I went to I remember when I was reporting it at Kasarani police, a day after, I remember they asked me, are you the girl from KU? We know there are 4 girls from KU who were raped on that same Sunday morning. And you know, you're being raped at 6 a.m. You're just wondering, there's no one who's passing here to just help me out. There's no one who can hear in this flat. I'm right outside someone's window. There's no one who can hear me and come help me. And the guy takes me round, Zimmerman, and takes me back to that stage where we alighted the matatu. And he buys for me a chewing gum and tells me that's to freshen up. And he takes me back to that gate, and he gives me back my Kabambi phone, tells me, you were really sweet, I have to give you back this, and here is 500 for your service.
Rahab, and this happened to you. I mean, I'm sure it happened often to you. You know, you talk about the stag parties and stuff, being
Yes.
raped, being used, being dumped.
Yeah.
Did you worry at some point that you'd get AIDS, you get HIV at some point? Did you worry?
At some point, Jeff, it gets to a point whereby you really don't care anymore. You want to die and end it all. So you really don't care whether you have it or not. You really don't care. Because I remember clients taking me and telling me, I will pay you more if I don't use a condom. And to be honest, I desperately need this money. And I'm used to this lifestyle, so I would not use a condom. And that is why even to date, I ask and I still distribute condoms, because I imagine how many ladies will go through what I went through.
Yeah.
How many of them?
And you have friends who died?
Yes, I have friends. I lost 9 friends.
8?
Yes, but I survived by God's grace. I survived not by my own strength. I survived because of God. She survived not because of her own strength, but today she's a voice. She speaks about it.
How do you feel, Anne? I mean, after all this, how do you feel? Do you feel, why you? Do you ask God that? I mean, do you ask, why did it have to happen to me?
Right now? Or back
Every
then?
day, every day.
No, I don't. I sat down and told myself, if this hadn't happened, probably I'd have ended up worse than I am today. When that happened, I changed. I moved back home. My parents took me back in. I moved back home and they embraced me. My family embraced me.
You told them the story?
Yeah. I actually called my brother at 11. That's when the shock was over and it hit me. Something happened. So I called my brother, and I remember that's the time I actually cried, because when I went back and I called the chick to come and open for me, and I went to their house, I was so shaken. I wasn't talking to anyone. I was just trembling.
What did she do?
I got home, I got to their house, and I found a cooking stick on the table, and I freaked out and I started shaking. And her mom was like, she realized, she actually called my name, Nyakinyua, and she realized I'm not looking at her, I'm just looking at the table. So she threw away the cooking stick and said, it's not for you, it's not for you. So I just sat down, I'm shaking, my shorts have blood, they have dust. And she told me, that was for your friend. So I told her, so I asked why. And she told me, your friend came home, she opened the door and she sat down. And I don't know, it's motherly instincts. It just told her something's wrong. So she asked her, who did you come home with? And she kept quiet. She wouldn't talk. Her mom had to get the cooking stick and beat her up. That's when she said, oh, I came home with Nyakinyua. I left her outside here. There was a thug who had a gun and many.
Are you still friends with her?
Not really, but when I see her on the street, she knows. I say hi.
Are your parents watching?
Yes. I say hi. I've forgiven. I've learned to forgive. It's very important to forgive.
You too, Rahab?
Yes,
all
for
those
you
people
to move
who did
on.
all those bad things?
For you to move on,
You have to forgive.
you have to forgive. You never forget, but you have to move on.
Really?
Because when you forgive, you go above the person.
Really?
Yes.
But somewhere in the book they said, you know, vengeance is mine. Isn't that what it said?
But you have to forgive to move on. How can I be a better wife if I don't let it go? There are good men out there. Not all are bad.
You know, women, you're very forgiving. That's all I can say. Keep tweeting at Nyakinyua A, at Rahab Renewed, at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag we're using tonight is a title of one of Rahab's books, Breaking Free. We're talking about issues that affect us, that we are afraid to talk about, that we never discuss. But right here on JKL, we're bearing it all without fear or favor. Jeff Koinange Live takes a break. We'll be back. Plenty more. Moving on. What Rahab and Anne are doing to change things, to turn things around, to help people live better lives. We'll be back in a moment.